Hello, welcome to the Saturday stream. Glad to see you. Trickle in, trickle in. Hobie Gal, great to see you. As a matter of fact, I'm glad you're here. Yes, today for our first flight, we were going to be flying to Waterton. We're going to check out the Prince of Wales hotel or whatever it is, resort. And this all started because last week, a couple streams ago, we're playing the Revelation game, the Revealed game. By the way, we shouldn't get into it. Let people come by slowly. Just get started. I don't want to be hitting the ground running too quickly. First, we got to talk about the Diet Coke situation. This is some Diet Coke right here. That's the situation. All right. Just poured it out of a can. I will not drink it directly out of a can unless under extreme duress, like at a barbecue. You won't catch me at that often unless it's my own barbecue and I'm the only person there. In which case I'll be drinking out of a glass. Let's see what else is going on. Right, got the beautiful blue Bluetooth controller right here. It's in your face now. It's working pretty well. I charged it up. I mean, it's rechargeable. All right, so the revealed answer, which was the answer, ended up being Glacier National Park, which is a Canadian national park, I believe, and it's right near this part of Canada that Hobie Gal will be exploring in person shortly. So we're going to get a good feeling. We're going to take up the AT Ascendants, and we're going to get a good feeling for the terrain up there. Some points of it. It should be really pretty. I mean, it's known for its beauty, great beauty. Canada is a really pretty looking country geographically, from what I could tell. Hold on a second here. So that'll be the first flight of the day. The second flight, I always kind of try to whack into flights. So if we're going to do a kind of an out of the way, mountainous, middle of Canada kind of flight, we're going to do a city flight. And I earlier in the day, randomly picked Philadelphia for no particular reason, except because they had a football game there the other day, and I was like, shit, we haven't been to Philadelphia in a while. We've done a lot of the Eastern Seaboard. I don't know if Philadelphia's been improved, but anyway. So welcome. The first half of the show is going to be me flying around in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. We'll do a couple missions. We'll probably cold start the ATIA Ascendants. It's not very hard to push a few buttons. But it's an unusual craft. It's a hybrid airplane that includes it's electrically powered. But the electrical, it's powered by fans that are have electrical engines in them. But the electricity comes from hybrid engines, from jet fuel powered turbine engines that are powering the generators. And there's 4 of them. It's an unusual plane. Then there'll be a break. Well, we'll play the big brain games today. That's me playing the Reveal, the Quirtle, the Tightrope trivia. Today's the second to hardest trivia quiz day. There'll be the Octortals. That's going to be the big brain games. And then there'll be a short break. Today's guitar game. I'm going to give you guitar day. Give you a little, did I say guitar gay? Anyway, I mean, it's got G's in it. Maybe that was a Freudian slip. We're not going to play the fancy Jeep guitar. I mean, I got 15 guitars or so, and I like to kind of rotate them through a little bit. Look at that imprimatur on the thing there. You can't really tell because you can't see. We'll go over. It says Epiphone there, right? But below there's like a skull with a cross. That's the slash, signature slash cartoon that he's associated with. This is a Slash model Epiphone Les Paul guitar. I used to have this same model in Rosa Corsa. This is red, racing red. I had the same one in Anaconda green, but I traded it in for a different guitar because these are very unique. They're great guitars. I'll talk about it a lot more. I love this guitar. I love them all. People are like, "What's your favorite guitar?" I mean, it's not really that kind of thing. It's whatever I feel like playing. But that guitar has a lot of things going for it. It's unique in a lot of interesting ways, which we will talk about endlessly when we get to the guitar section of the day. And that'll be me playing karaoke songs. I feel like playing a lot of REM songs today. Sing along to a lot of REM songs. We'll do Drive Rate. We're going to do Strange Currencies. Haven't done that in a while. I don't remember if I know how to play it, but we'll figure it out. Meanwhile, we're in the Flight Simulator category. That's not it. Let's press the right button. That's right. There we go. We're in the Flight Simulator category. This is the Microsoft Flight Simulator opening screen. We hit the start button. We're going to select our ATIA Ascendants. We were flying the Magni Gyro a lot, and it is a great sightseeing plane. But so is the Ascendants. This is based on a real plane that they're currently developing They plan on releasing it next year. In the real world, we'll see. I don't know. It's always tricky. All right, so we got a bunch of possible colors, I believe, we can set up for this guy here, and that's the least interesting one. It's got this bubble. They call it bubble. It's bubblegum pink. I can't really resist it. I don't know. I mean, because the other colors are not that exciting. Red, gray, the camo and digital camo is not great looking, and this blue default. So basically, the only thing you get that has kind of anything that's kind of weird and interesting is the pink, but it's nice and visible, from the air. Just an advantage because of the way we play here. All right, let's see. We're gonna spin the globe to Canada, our cold neighbor to the north, and it's it's further north. It's like up here somewhere. Further north, even. Wait, I gotta find it. Edmonton, Calgary, Prince George. That's not it. I'll find it. It's Waterton, so I can just do a search for it. But I'm wondering if I was looking at the map earlier. It should be kind of. Oh, here it is. Voila. Right? Not there, but right around. Oh, maybe not. Wow, there's a lot of water in Canada. It's very wet. All right, let me do a search. Waterton. Right? Isn't that what it was? No. All right. I got my. Hold on a second here. I have my. 1 second here. This is a little embarrassing. I'll find it. Give me a second here. I have my map up here, right? Prince of Wales Hotel, which is near. Yeah, it is Waterton. But is it where's the nearest whatever major city that I can find? Okay, I should be able to. I mean, it's just on the east end of the Rocky Mountains. Hold on a second here. Here. Should be kind of around here. What is this city here? Grand Prairie. This is going to be kind of tricky because I don't know where the nearest city is. All right, give me a second. We'll figure it out eventually. These are always fun. I'm just going to use my other computer here. All right, Prince of Wales Hotel. Okay. I need it on at the same time. It's okay. It's in Alberta. Yeah, I know that. But where? There it is. Okay, so it's east of Vancouver. I'm gonna do east of Vancouver. Where's Vancouver though? I'm gonna do this thing where I turn off the let's do a satellite view, right? Or we'll do a map view. There we go. Okay, there's Vancouver. So it's gonna be. There's Calgary. It's gonna be. Is it this one here? That's Kalispell, Whitefish. Glacier Park International. Isn't that closer? No. Interesting issue here. Priest Lake, Coeur d'Alene. It's definitely a body of water that crosses the border. But it's not that far. It crosses. This is the border, right? It's over here. Yeah, it's right here. Okay, gotcha. It's gonna be right in here somewhere. According to where I think it should be, but now I don't think it is there. All right, we might have to find it. I might have to find it some other day and get back to you guys. This is really unusual for me basically to be completely lost. But I think the issue is it's not marked on this map because I see it on this map kind of where it should be. And it should be right here. But I don't see that big lake to the left there on my map, which is kind of weird. So, in other words, I'm seeing real different topography. There should be a little lake right here that crosses the border, and I don't see it at all, which is kind of weird. It's not this. It's not up here. Wonder if I search for glacier. Let's see, maybe that'll be something we can find. Glacier Park International. Okay, this should be close to what we're looking for. But yeah, it doesn't look anything like what I'm looking at on at all. Like what I'm looking for, which is this weird kind of dog leg shaped lakes. I don't see anything that remotely looks like that around here, which is kind of weird. It's like, I'm sure it's around here somewhere. Maybe I just have to kind of see. It's not that kind of, it looks like kind of a T-shaped. Is it further north? Like up here. Oh, wait a minute. Is this it here? Is this it here? Because that, nope, it doesn't. It's not what it looks like. Wow. Not what it looks like. Plus, it's right on the border. So, I mean, it has to be kind of over here. It doesn't look like this, right? That's the wrong place. There's that. There's this, which is, I can't even see on my, I'm sorry about wasting time, but I'm just kind of curious now because I can't even see that on my Google Maps. This looks like I'm in two completely different countries from what I'm looking at on Google Maps, or I'm just in the complete wrong area of the world. But it should be kind of around here, I would think. Because this is where it becomes farmland, right? Wow. Yeah, it's okay. Let's zoom out again. So where is it? It's around here, right around here. But yeah, I don't see anything at all. Another look. Is it here? Invermere. It's Waterton, but it's not on this map. It's kind of weird. And it should be over right around here. There. No, that's definitely not it. It's a body of water. Maybe, oh gosh, maybe I can find out the name of the lake, right, that it's on. It's on, well, Upper Waterton Lake. Again, there's nothing in there. Wow, what's the nearest major city? There isn't, by the way, there aren't any nearest major cities besides Waterton, which isn't in the game. Oof. It's not close to any other major Canadian city. It's not. Prince of Wales. Or it's not in here under Prince of Wales Hotel, is it? That would be kind of stupid, right? Prince of Wales Hospital. Hotel. National Historic Site. All right, finally. Oh, sorry about that. And yeah, this is exactly where it says Waterton Park. Wow, I had a lot of trouble finding that in here. And I was looking right around this area, right? Yeah. Wow. Now that I see it, it's exactly where it's supposed to be. All right. Sorry about that. There's no airports nearby. Finally. Let's do the blend view, right? Satellite view. All right. We're going to start like in the air around here, right? Set as departure. as departure. Okay, we'll head north, airborne 3,000 feet. We're really late to get in the air. Let's see, most of my controls have already reset themselves. Yeah, we're 20 minutes in. I'm not even, oh, by the way, yeah, I have to move over to the thing. I was looking at the map. There was nothing to see. I was just looking at the map going, where the heck am I? Now, hopefully we are loaded. I finally found this thing, which is this lake here that you see there. That's very distinctive looking. And that's where we want to fly. That's where she's going. Boy, if I'd figured out earlier that although Waterton is not in there. All right, so we're gonna do park. We don't need parking brakes on, right? We want to fly. What does it say there? All right, it wants you gear down. Gear's the same. All right, now we get to fly. Now, at least it's a beautiful day. We're in the AT Ascendants. It's this awesome, you know, I didn't want to, obviously not going to cold start it since there's no airports nearby. But it's a great sightseeing plane because we can, it's got a lot of glass. This is what Wilma likes to call the flying GPU because it's got all those fans. Wow, this is some gorgeous terrain though. Canada is gorgeous. Anyway, we're heading up this lake, this glacial lake, which is, what's it called again? It's called, Upper Waterton Lake, right? And it is gorgeous in Canada here. All right, so let's see, we can trim if we need to, right? We can adjust our power here. All right, so let's talk about the features of this plane, which again is supposed to come out next year in the real world, but we'll see. It features four fans in 2 wings, 8 fans, 2 wings, which provide lift both from moving forward and from them pushing down. And then it's got these 2 little propellers in the front and on the back there. Not big, but they provide a lot of forward propulsion that you wouldn't normally get. They don't move. Like some of these planes have nacelles that move 90 degrees. Anyway, here we're coming to this little town of Waterton. But yeah, the terrain is stunning. So I want to check to make sure I have the weather correct. It says live and live. So yeah, it's according to this a perfectly clear day, which is a lovely day, and we're seeing the beautiful terrain of Canada. Later we're going to do some sea flying. But when we get to here, we're going to show off the one of the great things you can do with the ATIA Ascendants is switch to hover mode and sort of act like a drone and view things very very detailed. All right, we're going to reduce power here. But then when you want to move along, it moves pretty fast. So on the other side of that, we should find this thing. Now it's supposed to be marked as a point of interest, and I don't really see it. But I believe that Hobie Gal is correct. Okay, we're going from fly mode to hover mode. And that immediately levels the wings and puts the brakes on effectively. And then we can start flying more like a drone. Let's see, it's a bunch of housing there. It is definitely a point of interest, but as I say, I'm missing, for whatever reason, it didn't load the actual point of interest. So this is Waterton. I mean, I guess there's a bunch of resorts here. It's very pretty. You can see how it's mainly about the physical beauty. I guess taking a boat up and down the lake or something like that. Nice trip, beautiful. But man, yeah, the physical beauty of Canada cannot be beat. All right, so we're going up to the lodge here, the Prince of Wales Hotel, very famous lodge. I'll read up a little bit about it for you here. It's a 3-star hotel according to this. Glacier Park Collection. And Glacier Park is huge. It's ginormous. But here we are. We're going to try to establish hover here. Anyway, so the point is you have these 4 engines. It has actually 4 engines in the back section there, behind the passengers. They're turbine engines that are providing electrical power. And that's how you control whether you're going up and down. You're not directly controlling the speed of those fans, although they are computer controlled. You're controlling the amount of power being produced by the 4 engines. But that's an advantage in that you don't have to recharge the batteries. There's no batteries. You just fill it up with aviation fuel. That's cool, that kind of staircase on the outside there. I imagine it's not that big, but it's for safety. It's probably a big wooden structure. It's very old. I want to read up in a second. Here's the parking lot. So I imagine people would visit it just to, they probably have lunch or dinner or something like that kind of thing. But yeah, look at the view that it's got. It commands the view all the way down the lake and of Waterton. We're going to head that way. There's kind of like some cities and civilization kind of flat around that direction. But yeah, this has some beautiful detailing. We're going to land over here. Get out, take a little walk here. So landing is super easy. You'd think it'd be super easy. You just go down. And it is, except you need a camera facing down, because when you're in here, you can't see what's below you, which is a problem. You can't look down. In a helicopter, they usually have windows that go under the floor, effectively. In this one, we assume that there's gonna be a camera-mounted system where you look at the display, and it would just face below you, which would be nice, but that's not modeled in the game here. But you can see negative 200 feet per second. It's a very soft landing. It just the slightest bumps. All right, we're gonna get out and take a look around. So everybody pile out of the plane, look around. You don't want to get too close up. There's a lot of cool detailing here. Nice. That's probably the bottom floor is where the restaurant is. Maybe here. Got your Crown Vic. Nice roof detailing here. I wonder if this is probably an old. I was like, that's a fire escape. My feeling is this is probably an old enough building that it doesn't have elevators, so you kind of have to go up and down a lot of stairs. Maybe not, but it looks pretty old. There's our T Ascendants, bright pink. Beautiful day in Canada. Cannot fall. We're gonna fly around to another area. Wow. All right, let me get a screenshot here. While I'm thinking about it, I forgot. There you go. So I don't know, Hobie, if you're watching this later, try to get some pictures from this angle. You know what I'm saying? Oops. Screenshot. I'm going to read you a few random facts about the Prince of Wales Hotel. Perched on Waterton Lake, this landmark 1920 seasonal hotel is a 6-minute walk from Waterton Lakes National Park Visitor Center and 1.4 kilometers from Waterton Township, which is the city over there. But I guess the actual entrance to the park is right there, which is why there's kind of a parking lot. All right, let's fly around a little bit more. We're going to get some power to the generators here. We're in hover mode, so power to the generators just lifts us off gently. There we go, gently increasing the thrust until we have power positive vertical speed here. You don't need gear or nothing like that. All right, we're gonna go this way. I want to go up here, check out these trees over here. I'm thinking maybe the entrance to the park is up here, or down here somewhere. Beautiful place, though. I mean, can you just? I mean, we're just seeing 1/10 of its natural beauty. All right, you can see some. Is that like a little bit of snow up there too? And that's what it looks like. I bet at night it's all lit up gorgeous. We'll find out some other time. All right, so we're gonna switch. What you want to do is you start in hover, you get your full as quick forward as you can, and then you go into fly mode, and then get ready to fly the plane. Yeah, it's got little patches of snow, so. It's not a hot place. Is that a waterfalls kind of thing up there? Here, let's find out. It definitely is a point and fly kind of device. Yeah, I think this is probably like a waterfalls. It's not going to be moving like the Victoria Falls are because that's pretty rare. There's the lodge over there, that way there. You got like some waterfalls coming into the lake here. So this is the upper part of Waterton Lake. It's kind of a falls, but you see some water coming in there. But yeah, we head this way kind of east northeast. We're going to put the autopilot on. It's about 20, 30 miles. You're going to see the terrain changes very, very dramatically. In that, you can see how mountain it is in that direction, and quite stunningly mountainous. And then it gets quite flat. watching a bunch of other streamers. That's me, a distracted streamer. I don't know. Make sure my Diet Coke is topped up. But yeah, these country flights over Canada, wow. We should try this in the winter too. So you can see there's lots of mountains that way, there's lots of mountains that way, and the mountains go a long way in that direction because it's the Rocky Mountains. But this direction becomes flat, and it's very much Canada's breadbasket, you know. 85% of Canada lives within 100 miles of the southern border. Which we are. Just want to slow down a little bit here. So you can see it says 4 engines there, engine 1, 2, 3, and 4. But it's got, those don't correspond to any number of the propellers. But as I mentioned, compared to many other kind of drone or hybrid style aircraft, we're making a really good speed, and I assume that's because the wings are very thin and it's very aerodynamic. And the wings are thin because they don't have to hold a lot of fuel. Actually, why wouldn't they hold a lot of fuel? Anyways, we get out here, you're going to see quickly how in all directions ahead of us it's flat, and the flat goes for a long time. But that's good if you want to have farms, ranches, things like that. But yeah, so behind us is very dramatic mountain scenery. So if you're going to drive up, you basically drive up this flat area, and then suddenly you're in the mountains, and you're at the lodge there. Or you're coming from the south. That's a really, really mountainous route. You're coming from South Dakota, from North Dakota, or from what is it, Montana? I'm not sure what it borders with. Overspeeding. I'm getting stick shake from overspeeding. We're just reducing our power a little bit here. That's fine. I don't mind going 150 knots, but you're not supposed to exceed 160. It's fine. 159 is not 160. Okay, it's 160. Boy, it's really wanting to move. I'm reducing power, but yeah, it's very slick once it gets going. That's about the speed it likes to go. So I'm trying to stay nice and low, and so we can get a feeling for what the scenery is like. By the way, after this trip, and boy, I was like started 20 minutes in before I even figured out where we were. We're gonna fly over Philadelphia, just for no particular reason except I was watching a football game in Philadelphia the other day. So. This thing, the only thing I don't like about this view is that, let's see, there's that view, there's this, okay, we get this view. This is a good view. We can look that way, we can look that way. Okay, yeah, this is the view we want. All right, that's better. We can look around there. Because the other view is way too close up. I can adjust it with the mouse, but I like it when the default views are good. All right, so one thing this plane has that is a surprising and nice development is it's a little hard to maintain airspeed. You go too fast, then you reduce power, then you're going too slow. And because there's a delay between adding power to the generators and that's power being things speeding up on the propeller side or the rotor side, you think, oh, what's down here? We should go down here. This looks kind of imposing. We're gonna check it out. Way. It looks like an interesting, a rather craggy looking mountain feature. We're gonna check it out. Maybe we'll land on top of it. What are you gonna do? A second here. Hello. It's right up ahead there, right? So you got to be careful with the throttle. It just basically is one of those things that takes a while. Now again, we could set the autopilot, but I think the autopilot doesn't have an auto throttle, meaning it won't set your speed for you. It just sets your direction and altitude, which is normally fine. But again, this plane is very touchy throttle input. Like I'll be here sometimes and then overspeeding. I'll have to wait slow down, and they'll slow down, and then it slows down by like 60 knots, which is so long, with very small movements. I'll get used to eventually, but yeah, it's part of the fact that it's an experimental plane. It's not really a real. There's nobody who has a lot of real life experience that can say whether it flies like the real thing. Would I fly in one of these given the opportunity? Probably not. You know what I mean? I wouldn't. I mean, just because it's too new and experimental. All right, let's give ourselves more power even. Almost to get us into the yellow here. There we go. We're speeding up. We're actually speeding up to give myself some more power. So there's this. You can kind of see that thing there. That's the thrust there on the left side. And on the right side there, that one on the right side, as I move the yoke, kind of moves around. So the right side is how you're steering the plane. Left side, right? Yeah, left side is thrust. I'm not sure what else it is. Oops, now we're over speed. So I'm just getting used to kind of the control scheme. It's pretty fun, though. And of course, huge windows. It's kind of funny. It looks like it has a carbon fiber structure and then giant windows, which are real heavy. Yeah, some up close it may not be as dramatic, but from a distance it looks like a giant kind of tooth sticking out there. But then we're going to head east again. This actually might be, we may have already crossed over to the US, by the way, because we're pretty close to the border. But we're definitely needing to gain out to, oh yeah, we're at 7,300 feet. That's high up. We're not a pressurized airplane. Most unpressurized airplanes, you don't really want to fly over 8,500 feet. Because that's kind of limit where, you know, you're not getting enough oxygen to make good decisions as a pilot. And you need an oxygen system, or a pressurized plane. But this is definitely higher than 8,500 feet up ahead of us. I like it though, it's cool. We're actually going to check out this whole terrain area here. But you can see, yeah, it gets real steep because, you know, I think these planes are like 4,500 feet. These are not like low planes. The Central Plains of America the Americas are pretty high up. How much fuel do we have? Tons of fuel. Seems to be very efficient on the fuel. But yeah, I'm glad we checked this out because it looks like they've done, I mean, it looks like the real thing to me. I don't know, but it's gorgeous. So many parts of the world, especially Canada, I've not flown over. I mean, Canada, the back parts of Canada are just humongous. But yeah, this is what I came to see. This big rock sticking out there. It's by a mountain. And it's got like a little tooth over there too. And these are kind of, I don't know, tectonic remnants or volcanic remnants. I'm not sure. Gorgeous though. There it is. That's a big thing. And then on this side there's more things. A little lake. Wow. Wow. Who wants to land on the side of the lake? I do. Alright. Hover mode. Then we gotta go down. We're gonna land over there. Just by that side of the lake there. Alright, we're in hover mode. We're starting to go down. Watching my vertical speed. We want to stay a little less than 1,200. But yeah, so while we descend, you can look out the window here. You can see us descending on that side. This side, we're descending. But very carefully and in a controlled manner. Yeah, we're 1,250 feet per second negative. We land here on that little part there, just north of this little lake here. Nobody's here. Maybe we'll do a little fishing. I don't know. Middle of nowhere. Coming in at 7,700 feet. All right, we're at 21, negative 2,100. So I'm going to give us a little juice here. A little more juice. You want to do that in advance. You know, you can't give yourself emergency power. It takes a while for these they're little turbine engines, like jet engines, to spool up. Hopefully there'll be something nice and flat around here. A little more power. 1 second here. A little more. What do we got? Negative 1500. There we go. A little more power. Looking down here. Don't want to land on a tree. Don't want to land in the swamp. We're going to try to find a dry area up here. Almost looks like there's a campsite up here. Right here. It'll just be rocks. Let's find out. Negative 350. Heading down. Beautiful. Little secret fishing site. Let's turn around and look at the lake. There's the lake we're sending to. You don't really worry about putting out gear or anything like that. Yeah, there's something here. Check this out. Like this is some unnatural formation here. So we're slows down a little gently. Turn off the engine right there. You kind of see like somebody has set up a, I don't know, like a little. There was a hut there or some kind of structure. Kind of wild. All right. Well, that's what we're gonna see in the first part of the stream. Let's shut her down. We're gonna do some fishing. So to shut the plane down, we're gonna basically what you need to do is turn off your fuel valves. Then you turn off your alternator. Avionics master off. Battery off. Now it's rebooting, but as soon as the generators stop producing power, this will turn off. Right. For some reason, you can't turn the avionics master off. All right, it's off. Perfect. And then things are going to slow to a stop. There they are, slowing down. They're not quite stopped yet, right? Well, actually, they are. That one's slowing down. And all the others turned invisible, which I don't know what happened there. Something weird happened. All the propellers went invisible, including the front and back one. I've never seen that happen before. That's a bug. It's not super serious, but it is what it is. All right, we're going to pick a different plane and a different flight. Philadelphia. Why? Randomly. Random choice number 652,000. Eastern Seaboard. Plus, I like to balance a kind of country flight with a city flight. You know, do a little urban canyon carving. And we're going to pick the AT something, you know, for one thing, the ATSN no longer seems to have a, here we go, a little better. No longer seems to have, Great Lakes, propellers, which it's going to need, right? That's Newfoundland. There's Boston. Okay, so Philly's down here somewhere. All right, map, satellite view, or here, advanced view. Philly, all right, finally. Satellite view. Here's Philly. Philadelphia Museum of Art. What do we got for runways in the area? Because actually, we'll switch to a different plane because this one is identifies as a helicopter. Let me put it that way. Let's see. What would be fun? You know, the Hawk Arrow 2, because it's actually pretty fun to fly. It's an ultralight, so it goes nice and slow. All right, we already have in purple. Factory, green, gray, purple. We got a lot of colors. Let's do USA just to be patriotic today. Let's see how that looks. I don't know. We'll find out. All right, so we're there. Philadelphia is, oh geez, it's got a bug where it keeps losing where your position is. Okay, great. I lost it again. Philadelphia. All right. So is there a little airport here? What is Beaver Springs? Perfect. Philadelphia is to the east. Set as departure. We didn't cold start it, and this one does have a. Oh, it looks has a parking ramp, so we can cold start it. It's super easy, I believe, if I remember correctly. And just fly around Philadelphia a little bit. Looks a little cloudy, but we should have nice, decent enough weather. I was watching a football game a couple days ago, and it was nighttime. They had to stop the football game because of lightning when it wasn't, and it was storming, but it wasn't raining. I guess they have a lot of oof, is that right? That just did there. We'll figure it out. I think we might not be in the right place. I'll figure it out. All right. If we're in the right place, all we got to do is head east. We got the daffodils. All right. There's our beautiful hawk too. It's ultralight. It's got fabric wings, stretch fabric. We'll get into it later. We got flying here. All right. So we're inside the plane. Very simple. Okay. We're gonna turn our magnetos on. Battery master on. Where's our starter? There's like a starter button, I think. It's right there, right? Okay, we want to make sure our fuel is there. Continue. Start it. Oops. Okay, now we have brakes on. Actually, this is one of those planes, I believe, that does not have parking brakes. So you kind of have to be idling if you don't want it to move. Cool little pusher prop, though. All right, let's call out. We're gonna head east and check out a little Philadelphia. I don't know. Oops. Which way is the airport to? Oh, that way. We don't need a lot of runway. But we need a little bit of runway. All right, so we're flying this extremely light airplane. It's got like fabric side coverings. This is definitely one of those ones that you're not going to want to fly over about 2,000 feet. You know, and super fast, just because it doesn't provide a lot of, you know, protection from the elements, as it were. But that's the nature of a very light aircraft. Got some people parked on the taxiway. Hello. Let's don't park on the taxiway. That's fine. We just sliced them. Again, cool detailing here. I believe that is your classic Swiss-made Rotax. It is. They're very distinctive with those red valve covers. 4-cylinder is and a horizontally opposed Rotax. They make quite a few different sizes. The biggest one is turbo. That's pretty common, the turbo one. But this might not be the turbo. And they make like 80 to 100 horsepower. They're aviation engines because, as I mentioned many times, they have dual ignition systems and dual fuel systems that ground-based engines typically do not need. All right, and this is a really cool little airport outside of Philadelphia. I don't think I've been here. It's obviously for, you know, light plane. It's not even general aviation. I would say it's very light operation, very light plane operation. Maybe general aviation, but it could just be gliders. All right, we don't need the whole runway. We're gonna take off from here. There's plenty of runway. Literally, we need like 200 feet, and this is 3,000 feet, I think. All right, we're gonna announce our takeoff right here. Now, it does have adjustable flaps, and it is recommended you set the flaps to position 1 for takeoff. Let's see, depart east.
Papa Alpha, tree, Niner traffic. KNSH 9.
That's what it looks like from here. Hopefully they'll give us clearance, anchor clearance.
East. Papa Alpha, tree, Niner traffic.
Actually, they don't. This is an unregulated airport, so I don't believe they give you clearance. So we're just gonna go. All right, full power to the engines. Full power to the warp nacelles, Scotty. As he kind of leans forward as we pick up some aerodynamics there, and then as we get to the airspeed of roughly 50, it's gonna want to go. Right. No retracting of the engine of the gear. It's just fixed. And here we are heading east to Philly. First, we're gonna check out Beaver Town. Say hi to the Beavers. Philly's probably, what, 10 miles east? It's a ways. And again, we're not going super fast. That's the way we like it around here. Oh yeah, this is one of those planes on the interior. It's got those kind of those reflections that are a little out of control. By the way, I haven't checked recently. What is our frame rate like these days when we're kind of in this kind of environment? Let's see what it says. Okay, 98% on that. CPU only 39%. GPU 98%. That's good. Frame rate 80 to 90. That's really good. That's fine. I'm happy with frame rate 80 to 90. Anything over 60 is definitely smoother. Yeah, you guys can't see anything over 60. I mean, my monitor's 144. I could, but it's quite smooth. It's been looking good. All right, Philadelphia's out that way. So we're going to head up the river. The river's right here. But I wanted to see if there's anything interesting at Beaverton. Use power, give us a little negative trim, stay nice and low. Beavertown, it's not Beaverton. Beaverton's in Oregon. That's the one I'm thinking of. There's power. There you go. Another beautiful little ridge here. And here we are, Beavertown. I don't know why they call it that. You'd have to go there and ask them. They'd probably tell you. Not huge. Looks like there's a shopping mall at one end of the town. The Beavertown shopping mall. Right here. With the Beavertown multiplex theaters. Alright. And a bunch of people living there. It's not that close to Philly. We're a ways away. But we'll get there. I think. Let me just check my my flight planner. Maybe that was further than I thought. Yeah, Philly's over there. How many miles is that approximately? Yeah, it's about 8 miles. It's about 10 miles to Philly. Because it's just kind of where those rivers meet, I believe. Gosh, this needs to be consistent. So random. Okay. Alright, so if we do... what is my slew command? Oh, Shift Z. Seed the speed. Alright, let's see if we're getting closer here. We're doing a command override. Alright, where are we now? It's definitely starting to get closer, but you can see we started a long way away from my goal. I'm trying to get there sometime in the next, you know. Penn Valley. Okay, and now where are we on here? Do we move that far forward? Yeah, I don't see where Philadelphia is. It must be like kind of off in the distance. What are these airports? What's KIPT? And it's Williamsport. Damn it. What's this airport here? Penn Valley. Okay, we see that one. I'm definitely having challenges navigating today. I mean, I figured we'd be closer to Philadelphia. But let me just check here. Hold on a second here. Get in here for a second. Stop it, because this is not. I don't have a I don't believe we have an autopilot on this one. Let's find out though. Okay, so we'll clear this. Okay, so Philadelphia is not that far, but it's not this direction. I'm glad I checked. It's southeast. So we were not heading the correct direction. That's Philadelphia right here. It's not that far. Now that I'm looking at the map. Penn Valley is not far from Philly. But it is southeast, not east. But yeah, as I don't believe we have a autopilot system. Which is fine. I mean, very few ultralights do, or need them. But yeah, shortly we will be on the outskirts of Philly. All right. I believe. According to it's only about 5 miles. I should be flying though. Hey, where am I today? I'm actually flying south. I'm north of Philadelphia. In this, it comes with the game. It's one of the ultralights that comes with the game. The Hawk, the Hawk Aviation. I wanted to fly around Philadelphia, but I realized I have started way too far away. So we're kind of in the outer Philadelphia area, and this plane's not that fast, which is nice. I like the slow flights. So yeah, it looks like Philly is down that way. I may use my slew feature to get closer because we've got quite a ways to go. Right. Although I thought I looked at Penn Valley, and Penn Valley is only a couple miles northwest of Philadelphia, and there's the river. I was kind of expecting it to be here. But the map says it's down there? In that direction? I don't know. Yeah, it's, it's got that great light feeling. You get a lot of turbulence. It definitely bounces you around in the air, which I don't mind. And again, no autopilot. So it's all stick flying. It's all on the stick. I'm trying to stay low. I'm trying to trim it so it doesn't want to head up in the air. But giving a lot of negative trim here. It still seems to want to get the nose real high. I don't know how much negative trim can I put in there and not have the nose go up? If I slow the engine way down. A lot. Just trying to keep the nose down. Alright, I'm tired of this because I don't know where I am. It's really weird. I really expected there to be Philadelphia right there, next to Penn Valley. So, it's kind of weird. But I think this is the airport, right? MDT? Or that's Harrisburg, but that's close, right? I don't know anything. I guess I could put the map later on. I don't care. This is what again? That's Penn Valley. So we're south of Penn Valley. So I don't know really where I am. I don't mind though. It's definitely, if we continue going this way, it looks like we're going to hit some weather. And that may be the reason why I can't see where I'm going. This is kind of funny. This is some of my worst navigation so far in the game. Both this and the previous segment where I also was like, I want to know where I'm going. I have it on the Google Maps. I'll find it. Okay, so this is the river, but where on the river? Am I north or south? First of all, where is Okay, I gotta check something real quick. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Again, where's Harrisburg, Pennsylvania? Compared to where I am right now. Okay, Harrisburg is way over there. Way to the west. I'm near Harrisburg. I want to go way east. Along. Okay, let me see if that helps. So I think, all right, Shift Z. We're going to go here. Way to the east. Let's see if it starts getting a little more urban over here. Tower City Airport. See, I'm starting to be stymied by the weather. I have a feeling. So we're going to make a command decision on the weather and change it from what it is to much nicer weather. And it's just the thing I like to do. While the weather's off, we're going to turn it to scattered clouds. Now I can actually kind of see something. Sort of. No, I still have no idea where I am. No clue. All right, Tower City Airport. I'm going to look that up. Tower City Airport. Yes, is that a thing? Bendigo Airport. Yes, all those places. Where is this? Okay, Philadelphia is a long way southeast of here. A long way. I wasn't even close. Like 60 miles. Not even close. In fact, we must have started at the wrong airport. That's the only way I can imagine we got that far off course, because I was not that far away. All right, because, yeah, I mean, Philly is way out here. Way out here. Not even close to where we were. This has happened to me a couple times with the new version, where I started an airport, and it has some trouble finding the airport, and I see it kind of slew away, and it went like 50, 100 miles away from where I was wanting to go. Right? Because Philly is right here. So I've just been wanting to go to Philly, and we ended up hundreds of miles away from Philly. This is Philadelphia. Hundreds of miles away. Philadelphia International. There's Philadelphia International. I've been wanting to fly around Philadelphia, but the game put me 1,000,000 miles away. I started at an airport about 3 miles away from Philadelphia to the west, or I thought I did. But if you look at the game, if you watch my VOD, you see right at the last second it made this huge slewing action, which is kind of unusual. And then I didn't double check where I was, and I was nowhere near where I had set my destination, where my starting point was. Not even close. All right, here's Philly International. We're going to find actual Philadelphia around here somewhere, too. Like over that way. It's north. All right, I'm going to try to do this, again, without... Oop, okay, shut the engine down entirely. We're way high up. So I'm going to try to lose altitude here without tearing the wings off. So the engine's shut off. Shut an engine off, basically. Right, but the airport's nice, but we want to fly around the city, which is north, right, of the airport. I need to check that, right? Yeah, international is just south, so we're going to hit kind of north here. That's Philadelphia right there. There'll be a lot of things to see, but boy, the game is really messing me up in terms of not starting where I asked it to, anywhere near where I asked it to start. Not even close. Halfway across. Oops, shit, that's way over speeding. This plane has fabric wings. Again, the engine's off. This plane has fabric wings, and if you go too fast, they will tear off right off. But I'm trying to lose altitude as quick as I can, and that is causing the plane to go very fast. We're still at 3,500 feet, and I want to be down to like 1,000 feet. But I do not want to tear the wings off, so I'm watching our airspeed carefully. This is what it looks like from here. It really looks like you're diving to the ground here. But yeah, not a fast plane, but you'd never be up this high. It was a bug already. You wouldn't be there'd be no reason to be at an altitude in a fabric covered plane. Because for one thing, it's cold up here. And you don't have any isolation from the temperature. Yeah, well, Philadelphia up ahead. We will eventually see Philadelphia. Man, it's a good thing on Saturdays I enjoy taking my time. Oh yeah, there we are, over speeding again. The engine is off. You can see the fuel is off. And it still doesn't. I'm losing relatively small amounts of altitude. We're still halfway where I want to go, and it wants to overspeed. Eventually, I'm gonna have to start up the engine again, but it's gonna be a while. And it has been a while since we've done Philly, so there's the Museum of Art. There's definitely a few things. It's a beautiful town. We'll see the Coliseum area there. Okay, now I can start to give us a little bit of power here. But also, yeah, that -40 trim is needed. I believe it needs even more trim as it uses fuel. to keep the nose down. Just because as you use fuel, you tend to lose your center of gravity tends to shift. In this case, in some random direction. In this case, I believe it shifts backwards, meaning you need more negative trim. But yeah, you don't want to go over 100. What is 110? Is VNE on this? All right, we'll check out the art museum. We're gonna check out the city. We'll fly through, check out the buildings. Boy, we were a million. There was no way we would have been able to fly here. From where I started. But again, I have to now be aware that if when I start at a specific spot in the game, if there's that quick slewing motion after I hit start, it may well have moved me hundreds of miles away from where I think I am. And I need to, you need to stop what you're doing. Okay, there's a really cool looking, I think that's actually, I don't know, power building, a power construction. There's a baseball field, lots of cool details here. This here, lots of unique looking buildings. We got right of way for rail and for power. Cohen, I guess that's probably some kind of helicopter landing pad. All right, the museum's up ahead, and then we'll make a right turn over the river and check out the sound. All right, we're starting to operate our engine again now that we're at under 500 feet. Yeah, so that's a big. This is Penn State Stadium. This is where the college guys play. It's an old looking stadium, beautiful. It's not where the Philadelphia Eagles, Pennsylvania State in Philadelphia. Okay. The Museum of Art we're gonna check out. Lots of really, really interesting buildings. Well, we're gonna see the city center pretty soon. We're gonna fly down that boulevard. This is what it looks like from here. Beautiful, great way of checking out the world here. We're getting a nice, smooth view here of my recently spec'd computer and the museum. By the way, as people want to, I always like to point out when we fly over this, which we haven't done in a while. If you have seen a movie that was called Rockford, Blocky. No, Rocky. There's a scene where he goes up the steps and okay, right here. Philadelphia is very famous. Everybody runs up these steps and they hum themselves the song. Probably not as much anymore, but boy, Rocky was a big movie. And that's a real famous scene right there. I believe there is a statue of Sylvester Stallone there. Okay, we're gonna go. No, so we're not gonna go down this boulevard. We're gonna go here over the water, and we're gonna make a sharp left. We're gonna go over this bridge, that bridge, not this one, but the next one. So there's the famous steps where Rocky Balboa ascends to during his training. Okay, one of these boulevards. Which one? I think the second one is what we want. And maybe we want the first one. We'll do this one. They're both pretty straight. But we're flying nice and low. Don't try this at home. This is what it looks like from here. Yes, it's dangerous. I have collision detection turned on. We cannot run into these buildings. Well, we can, but it'll restart us at 5,000 feet, and I consider that a loss. Sorry. Now I've got that song in my head. Lots of great buildings. This is Philadelphia. We're just flying at low level because we can. Doing a little urban canyon carving. That's part of what we do around here. So it kind of goes from one river to the other river, right? Is that how that works? That's what it looks like from that side. Pretty big city. Pretty big eastern seaboard city, technically. Lots of detailing on the roadways here, all the streets, all the little signage. Wells Fargo building there. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Oh, we got a bridge. Can't go under this bridge, though. What's this say down here? Can you get your waterfront freeway here? And then the Alloway Airfield. That's interesting sounding. Alloway Airfield. Are you supposed to like land on this little strip here? Can you land on that? Oh, heck yeah, you can. But before we do, I'm gonna check out some stuff over here. Oh, you know what we forgot? I forgot to look for the stadiums. Like, here's a little stadium here. This is like what we talked about when the science is on. I think this is a this is actually a minor league stadium. This isn't a major league stadium. It's big, but it's too small to be a major league stadium. But it's too big to be like a school. I believe that is about a normal size for a pretty decent sized minor league team. And there's quite a few of them on the East Coast. They're very, people are famous. People, as I say, some people are really big fans of minor league baseball, as opposed to regular Major League Baseball, which they find kind of, stuffy and boring. But what I want to see is where are their fields? Where are the fields? Where are the? I think they're kind of closer to the airport. Hold on 1 second here. Give me a second here. I kind of want to know what I'm doing here. It's the Lincoln Financial Field. Well, where is that? Yeah, it's down by the airport. All right, so let's head down there south. All right, so it's down there. We're going to check out. We missed it because we flew over the airport too quickly. That's our last port of call. We're going to check out the stadiums. And meanwhile, we're flying over lots of interesting parts of Philadelphia. See, there's a plaza there with like a there's like a statue, I think, or some kind of sculpture there. You kind of see there. We should check it out. That building, what does that say there? It's got to have a name on it, right? Maybe it doesn't. It's Philadelphia. It just says Philadelphia. Okay, that's just the center of Philadelphia. But we're going to find the stadiums, which are right down here. You got to head down to South Philly. But just gorgeously modeled, a beautiful day. Yeah, I changed the weather. Let's change the weather back and see what happens, because I always like to leave it in live weather. And that was not that weird weather we had was not where we were. That was somewhere else. I see Des T up in the air in an according to me, an F-14. Getting a lot of turbulence in this little lightweight plane here. It sure wants to turn me around. It takes a lot. You can see that stick is moving like crazy. That's my thumb there. But it gets a little more stable when you go fast, but not that much more. All right, so you head down this road here. We're going to head to where all the stadiums are. See where it says Bart Turacamo? I don't know what that means, but that's right where the stadiums are. We're going to check them out. And that'll be it for the flying today. But if you enjoyed the flying segment, tomorrow will be more flying. I don't know where we're going to go. Hopefully I'll have better luck finding what I'm looking for. What kind of building is this? It's got a smokestack. Kind of commercial looking here. Some kind of industrial activity. And over there is a church behind it. Over there. Cool. Some kind. Cathedral. Hello, plane. Please do not dive into the ground. Thank you. But yeah, I don't know why I need... Oof. I am really fighting stick on this plane. It's kind of fun, but yeah, you can't just set this plane and it's going to drive itself. That's for sure. It never wants to go where you want it to go. We're going to land on a parking lot now here, though. I'm not even going to bother. And again, one of the advantages of an ultralight is you don't necessarily need a runway. You can land on a road or a field. There's a field right there, baseball field. That's definitely a school type environment of some kind. Right there. I suspect the school, maybe the school's on the other side. I don't know where that buildings are. All right, so here's where this is where your Philadelphia entertainment complex would be, for sporting things. See a lot of stuff of activity here. This is where the Philadelphia baseballers play, whatever their name is. I forgot. It's the who? It'll say the Phillies. There's your scoreboard there. It's all lit up. Beautiful Phillies stadium. I can't remember what it's called. It's called the Lincoln Financial Field. No, that's the other one. Lincoln Financial Field is that one up there. So they play there, and then the Philadelphia. I still do work as a software engineer, a full-time software engineer, 5 days a week. Thank goodness, because it's a good job. But and that allows me enough time to take a day, take time off in the middle of the day, Wednesdays, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and be able to stream. But I love my job. So that's okay. And then over here is where the Bulls, the base basketball team. So all the stadiums are in the same area here. The Wells Fargo Center here. Also, this is a beautifully done stadium here. The Wells Fargo Stadium. So that's basketball, 76ers, excuse me. I don't know all the team names. So you see the 76ers, the Eagles, and the Phillies all play here. All right, let's land somewhere. A lot of parking, but looks like they can handle a lot of cars in this area. And also, I believe they have like trains that come down from the city area. But I do like me a nice looking stadium. All right, so here's the airport. You know what? We'll just land on a random runway. What field of software engineering? Well, okay, I work for a bank, so the field I work on is technically what we call the payments industry. I don't work on the commercial or consumer banking side. I work on the payment side of the bank, and specifically, our group programs payment terminals, like a handheld terminal or a terminal in a lane. Our specialty kind of is the hospitality industry. So, like, if you're at a hotel and you run your card, you know, you're checking in and you run your card. Well, they haven't charged you yet. It's called an authorization, but they authorize your card, and then when you check out, they can charge your card. Oh, by the way, this is really cool military stuff down here. There's obviously a naval base right here. There's a aircraft carrier, a bunch of destroyers, a bunch of in dry dock destroyers down there, or whatever, frigates. Yeah, frigate. And that's a really cool detail. We're gonna land on this little runway here. You know, it's not bad. But, yeah, my job is a lot, if you've ever seen the movie Office Space, my job is a lot like the old guy in Office Space. This is Philadelphia. This is actually, we're landing at a little airport, the main runway for Philadelphia International is right there. We're running on we're going to run on the north runway, which is only used for small planes, I believe. All right, so flaps to probably second position at this point. So we're coming in here. We got a nice lineup. We're a little high up. You can tell those 4 lights there are white. We want them, at least some of them, to be red. That means we're at a good altitude. And reducing power by quite a bit and pushing the nose down by quite a bit. Hey, thanks for the follow. There's a role play thing. Interesting. Okay. Well, I know a lot of people who fly in groups, that's for sure. And, you know, or do long trips, and they have a whole kind of, what's my speed here? Oh, a little fast. They have a whole, cohort of people flying around with them. This is a challenging landing. Okay. I'm not sure why, but I'm just not used to this plane. Oh, it gets a little turbulent down there. It's very affected by ground winds because it's so light. That's the challenge, and until you get over a really flat area like this, unless you feel like you're landing really slow, but we're actually moving on a good speed here. But this is a nice long runway. Okay, this is a perfectly fine landing here. And this is what it looks like from out here. It's got nice big tires. We're still a ways up here. Anyway, it's a cushy job. I mean, it's not very high stress, and we work in a small group, and people I've known for years, and we're always learning new things and new hardware things. All right, there's your Hawk landing. It's ultralight pusher. At this, oh no, we're back at Philadelphia International. All right, that's the flight segment. Yeah. I mean, I have my little. I do this. Every time I stream, I do fly this, and it's the same kind of thing. We just kind of pick a place. I pick some plane. I like a lot of vintage airplanes. I don't fly jets very often. Sometimes I have a Concorde. I like to fly it. Gotta be careful with the brakes because you can knock yourself over. Whoa. The stuff I'm working on now is pretty modern. All the stuff I do now, by the way, at work, the majority of what I'm programming is Android. And it's pretty advanced programming. It's always like I'm learning new things. I started off writing C code and wrote a lot of C++ code, and then in this job I've had to write a lot of Java code. It doesn't really matter, but now we're writing Android programs in Kotlin, which is a whole other language. It's kind of fun. So it's really cool to be learning new things. You know, companies paying me to learn new operating systems, new ways to program. We got these. They're encouraging us to use these AI tools to help us program better. You know, that's kind of interesting. And so I'm one of the people in my group that actually interacts with the AI programming tools, which eventually will put us out of a job, but that's fine. It'll be a while, a couple of years at least. All right, we're gonna stop right here. Oh, I want to go forward. There we go. There is no parking brake, from what I can tell. I mean, you don't need one. It adds extra weight. Who cares? It's an ultralight plane. It doesn't have one. All right, but we can turn things off. Oops. Transponder. Wigwag mode. I'm just checking what all this stuff does. USB, COM1. It's pretty cool. Yeah, VATSIM is an amazing tool, but I find it too, it's almost too, it's a little too challenging almost. I kind of want to fly the simpler planes that don't really have anything anyway. Or the World War II planes or things like that that wouldn't have had any kind of advanced navigation. But I am looking for a time when we can, really interact with ATC using AI, and it really is realistic. You know, you really feel like you're talking to ATC, and I don't mean typing. I mean actually talking to ATC. You know what I'm talking about? And that they're starting to do that, but I think it costs extra. It's not that good. I don't really know what you're doing there, but yeah, they have some AI tools that they're trying to do where you can talk to ATC, and you can ask you go on a flight, you can say, well, can you route me around the weather, or, things like that, and it will give you coordinates to route you around weather, real time weather, and things like that. That's some really interesting. Have I tried saying tensions? I am a partner, and it's awesome. Not just ATC, but full on mentorship and tour guides, and every airport is manned with dialect and procedure. Oh my goodness! The heck. Oh, have you tried saying tensions? Okay, you are a partner. I'm trying to parse your sentence there. Let me look into it. I'm always looking into kind of new things that will do things. But anyway, today we're going with the next segment that I like to do, basically for my regular stream. It's called the Big Brain Games. Sometimes we do a little viewing of various things, but that's going to be it for the flying. We got plenty of time left. It's going to be a long stream today. But I like to take a little break. This is something I do every day, so I do it anyway while I'm streaming, even when I'm not streaming, which is just play these little free puzzle games you get online from the browser. All right, where am I? Here, I'm bringing them up. There's that there. It's called, we'll start with a Quirtle. It's like a Wordle, except there's 4 words to solve instead of just one. I already did today's New York Times Wordle. I do that first thing in the morning. Hey, points. All right, and whatever you guys, do not look at the ads, because you could be, you might go to Lowe's accidentally or buy Vapo Stick, and you don't want to. But on the other hand, I'd like you all to go down to your local store and purchase a large amount of Diet Coke, because I'm hoping that someday they will sponsor me. All right, what's this one here? Upper left. I mean, how many words could it be? QT, CUTIE. I mean, what else could it be? What up? Okay, there's always some easier one here. Lower right could be booth, I think. How about booth? Maybe it's booth. All right, but no with the H. All right, let's see what else we got here. After this, we're going to do the reveal, the tightrope. It's wild and crazy. This one here is probably, it's going to be alive or alike. It could be either one. So I'm going to wait for a second here. Let's see what this one is, because I don't like doing 50-50s. The word ones, you're more of a crossword guy. Yeah, I like crosswords too. They used to have more free crosswords, but I got addicted to these 5-word game puzzles, and now I'm really fast in them because I kind of have the dictionary in my head. In other words, there's not an infinite number of these 5-letter words, and even anyway. The point is, okay, what is this one? OIS, but then, or the IO. What is that? Kiosk. There's not that many. There's not many words that have an OS and an I in them, like in that position. Oh, nice. And now remember what I said? It could have been alive or alike, but now we know there's a K in it, so it's got to be alike. All right, we're down one game, but there's a bunch more, a couple more. before we are finito. The next game is called Revealed. It's a pretty new game. You can play it for free every single day. It's a daily puzzle game. It's not timed or anything. You get a category. In this case, a place. The correct answer is going to have 9 letters. You get this heavily redacted document, which we're going to read. It's annoying. These are all free. I mean, they have ads on them. I don't play any paywalled games. There's some of the crossword games and some of the New York Times games are paywalled, but the regular Wordle is not. And these are actually Britannica games, not New York Times games, and they're free. Someday they might be cost money, and I'll be mad because I do these every day. All right, let's read this. Okay, so what we're looking for, it's a place, is a something located at the blank end of blank. It occupies a roughly blank area that is blank, then the blank areas of blank and blank. Blank is bounded by the blank and the blank to the north, blank to the east, blank to the south, and blank to the southwest and west. The national blank blank is blank primary center, and it's spelled funny, of blank 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 blank. Okay, now we got to figure out, it's a place. We got to figure out which one of these is going to be most useful, because we can reveal some of these, but we want to reveal as few. I'm thinking some of these boundary ones, bounded blank to the north, blank to the south, and this is, I want to see what this one is. Caribbean Sea and something to the north. Caribbean Sea to the north. Is it Venezuela? It was Venezuela. See, the key is to figure out what of those words, the redacted words. Now you can see the whole document. Not all of them are going to be useful, like Atlantic Ocean, but Caribbean Sea to the north. Then I use my geographical knowledge to imagine what countries are to the south of the Caribbean Sea. I'm pretty good at this game too. Okay, let's compare how we did with the rest of people. We only needed 1 reveal and 0 hints. I do this game every day, so I've got 100% solve rate. Other players, this is the cool part. You compare yourself to other players. On average, needed 4.5 reveals and 1.5 hints. Hints are when you reveal a letter from the answer. And 72% solved it. This is a fairly easy one, I would say, because from that percentage. But you only have a limited number of reveals, and after that, you lose, effectively. But we've never lost. It's pretty good. All right, the next game is called the Tightrope Trivia Game. Again, free every single day. There's 7 days a week. They start Monday is the easiest, and it's a 9-question multiple choice timed a trivia game. I kind of consider myself a trivia master, but it doesn't mean I'm going to get them all. And also, there's the Saturday and the Sunday are the hardest ones. I mean, the nature of trivia is, sometimes you can't get it, but given that it's fact that it's timed, as soon as I hit that play button, I got to start concentrating. Dieter Geisel, I know that name, Dr. Seuss. They should have said Dr. Seuss. Well, it would have been maybe too easy. Trumpet, it was Gaga. I know Gaga was hanging out with Tony Bennett. And she seems like the kind of person you get a tattoo. Shandy's mixing beer with what kind of drink? Isn't it? Grenadine? Oof, it was lemonade. I don't even know. Beer and lemonade. Never had that. All right. Creepy says cute and creepy. Well, I just saw the Labubu episode of South Park last night, so I'm gonna have to guess that. Fill in the blank. Somebody sent you leader to a blank, a barrage of questions from its workers. You don't have to get them all to cross the tightrope, but I do like to get them all, so we're screwed already. That's fine. It's manifest destiny was what they used as a excuse for natural resistance to snake venom. I think it's the mongoose. The plasma oxidation, what element? Iron? That's what turns red when you oxidize it. Alrighty. In what country? Oof. Boy, I thought the obvious answer was wrong. Wow. Well, I think I should have got that one correct. Should have got that one. Well, I mean, I should have got them all. I should get them all correct, except I don't know the answer sometimes. Well, you know what I mean. I'm not getting paid for. I'm not getting paid. Tightrope boss, fine. There's a walking encyclopedia and clever funambulist. There's two. There's two higher than that. All right, we're almost done with the big brain games. Except we need to do 2 of these octurtles. Octurtles are a lot like quirtles, which are a lot like wordles. Except there's 8 words to solve at the same time. This is the warm-up game. It's just kind of, 8 random words. I'm using my standard 3 starting words, which will give us a big leg up here because, okay, upper left probably is going to be brand. Yeah, I know. If you haven't seen an octurtle, it wasn't brand. It's brawn. We have some extra guesses here. Let's see. This one here could be a few things. Yeah, okay, so you scroll down. There's all 8 of these games at the same time. This one on the lower right seems doing, D-O-I-N-G. G is available. Okay, that's good. Now we have here. This could be, Chink, C-H-I-N-K, I think. Oof. No, China. Couldn't have been Chink. China. Like find China. Oof. All right, well, we're having some issues here. We'll be fine. We're just going to get all the rest of them. Lower right, that has to be Cluck, C-U-L-C-K, because it can't be Clunk. There's no N in it. This one here is going to be React, lower left. Play that one there. Let's see. React.js, yeah. It's a framework. We don't use a lot of frameworks. Let's see. We still have Flume, F-L-U-M-E, right? Could it be anything else? I think it's got to be Flume, F-L-U-M-E on the upper left. Yeah. All right, that's fine. And then what do we have here? It's B. B. It's bylaw. I mean, that's a weird word. Bylaw. All right. And then the last word here is going to be midst, M-I-D-S-T. All right, so we have one more game. That was called the classic. The hard one that I like to do every day is the last game. It's called the Rescue. The hexadecaquartal. I'm sure there is one, but no, this is enough for me. But this is another 8. We get 8 words to solve. But instead of being able to use my powerful 3 starting words, which I've developed over the many years to be perfect, etc., it uses 4. It gives you 4 random words that are like under and older, stupid, that you'd never pick, but are just random. So you got to rescue the game from effectively being a deficit here. This one here. Let's LEA could be, it can't be pleat, P-L-E-A-T, bleat. It could be a bunch of things. This one's here, R-E-A-D. Let's try bread. No, that'd be E. So R-A. Okay. R-A something D. But I think R-D-A? R-A-D-E? Yes. Okay. Now you kind of see what we're looking for. But it should be trade or grade. So we're going to wait on that one. This one here. Interesting. And then at the end. Okay. This one here, I'm going to guess spike. It does fit. Okay. Finally, we get a word. That's our first one. We got 7 more to go, but there's always ones that are not too hard. That wasn't too bad. Let's see. We have an R and a C to play. Oof. What? Okay, at least we have all the vowels except for Y. What else is here? This has got to be easier here because it's all right. We still don't know if it's trade or grade. But now we know there's a P in this one. So I think it's Plea, but it can't be plead because there's no D. It could be pleat. Okay, that's good because we needed that T. And now we know the one on the left has got to be trade, not grade, because it has a T in it. And there's no other words it could be. We're moving along here. This should start getting a little easier here. Let's see. Oof. Okay, this could be UD something E. So it could be budge or fudge, for example. Could be a lot of things. I think it's UD something E. All right, fudge. You know what? Let's just guess fudge. Because it could be fudge. It was fudge. You got to be good at this game. You got to get lucky a little bit. Do I avoid using ad blocks? I know on some browsers I have an ad block, but not on this one. And I don't think it's that distracting for you, for the viewers. And hey, if it pays for the free content, I mean, playing a game here, I'm not paying anything for it. It's free. It's actually content for me. Okay, could this be repay on the lower left? REPAY. Does that have all the letters? Because it has to have a P. The P could be there. It has to have an E. It could be there. We know that. Yeah, let's try it. All right, good. See, I'm moving forward, and again, only because I do these games so every single day. Try this at home. It's going to be pretty hard until you kind of figure out the vibe here. All right, this one here it's going to be, I believe it's RA something EN. And the only thing I can think of that fits there is Raven. It was Raven. Good. All right, we have 3 guesses to get to. By the way, this is a hard one. So when I get this one, I'm always pretty happy about it. We know this is something okay, it's probably, we know it's probably UMPY. So it could be jumpy or bumpy. I'm going to go with jumpy. Oops, jumpy. I sure hope it's jumpy. It was jumpy. And we have 1 left. Yay! And this is the final word. After that, we're going to take a short break, and I'm going to be moving over to the chess puzzles. Yeah, that's the great way to get better at chess. That's the thing, is that I see a lot of people playing chess. Obviously it's a huge category, and they're really good. I don't play chess like that. Okay, so we know this upper left word is A-R-A-T, right? Oh, and has a C in it, so it's carrot, C-A-R-A-T. In other words, it's spelled out for us. All right, so we won today's rescue. Woohoo! It's a hard one. Yeah, Sudoku. Basically, I do these specific games in the specific order just to kind of have a little in-between break between the fly-in segment and the musical segment. I think it's kind of fun. And sometimes we do a little watching of videos or things like that. But as time goes on, I want to do some guitar playing. I'm going to sing some karaoke songs. By all means, get ready to smash that mute button as hard as you can, because it may not be good. Is all I'm saying. I'm trying to get better. All right, so I'm going to run my mid roll, and we can take a short break. And when we get back, we'll be in the playing some guitar in the music category. Play live music for you. We'll see how it goes. I'll be talking about guitars too. All right, we're in the guitar. We're in the music segment category. All right, let's talk. That's just a little bit. You started to learn to play guitar a week ago, man. Good for you. I'm happy to hear that. You should. I mean, playing the guitar is great. It's a very fun instrument. I love Yankee Doodle, right? Yeah. I mean, I started playing when I was a kid, and I'm not a kid anymore. So I've been playing like how long have you been playing guitar? More than half a century. I'm still not that good. People are like, oh, you're really talented on guitar. No, anybody who spends 20,000 hours, 10,000 hours twice, doing something should get to some level of proficiency. I'm still working on it. You know, I see people a lot younger than me, you know, rock gods or whatever, just picking up a guitar and they just play it. That's not how I work. That's not how it works for me. I had to, you know, I have a lot of guitars. I had to spend a lot of time, you know, learning the basics on an acoustic guitar, an A and an E, an A and a G and a D and a C and an F and an A. So, you know, a lot of chords to learn. And then I started learning blues, you know. Well, I play the piano on the other, you know, played piano. I have what I like to say is I'm a professional lounge piano player, professional level lounge piano player. I work as a software engineer, but if I ever needed to switch careers and be a professional lounge piano player, I think I'd do pretty well. So we have Ken's Piano Lounge on the days that we don't play the guitar. All right, so I have like roughly 15 guitars. I like to talk about them a little bit, like why do I have so many guitars? What's different and unique about this particular one? This one is an Epiphone, Epiphone is owned by the Gibson Guitar Company, but Epiphones are typically going to be made in Asia. I think this was made in Indonesia. This is a Slash signature model Epiphone. There's quite a few Slash signature model guitars out there. There's many, 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 because he's a Gibson artist and he owns over 50 Les Pauls, including quite a few vintage ones. So he knows a lot about, I mean, he's a guitar god, Slash from Guns N' Roses, that Slash, all right? And he knows a lot about guitars and vintage guitars. Hey, how you doing? You can, but I won't. You absolutely are welcome to make requests, but unless I know it, I'm not going to probably play it. I don't really learn songs on stream. So what makes this guitar different? I mean, okay, first of all, you got to see up here. You can tell here, if you look up close here, this is a signature, Slash's signature imprimatur. If it's hard, then definitely not. But first of all, it says Slash there, and then there's a dude, there's a skull head in a top hat, and then below that it's hard to see, but I'll tell you what it says. It says R and F and R. Dr. Seuss. Oh, Claire's theme. Okay, I'll check it out. But there's a lot of great video game music. People request, you know, Stardew Valley, you know. This is an Epiphone Les Paul. I mean, so Epiphone makes a million Les Pauls. I mean, Gibson Les Paul. I have a couple of Gibson. I have like 5 Les Pauls. 2 of them are made in USA. 3 are Epiphones, so they're made in China. Yeah, it's a TV show. I know Doctor Who. I'm familiar with Doctor Who. I'm just saying that I consider Doctor Who music and video game music kind of in the same category a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's kind of it's show music as opposed to just music that was written for an album or something like that. Anyway, the point is, I do play a few things from video games and other kind of things that aren't songs, but you won't see me doing that here. Anyway, let me talk a little bit about what's interesting and unique about this guitar. You can buy these Slash guitars that are really cheap. They're called the AFD kits or something, like $200. You get a bolt-on thing, and it's Slash. Slash will stick his name on anything. But these guitars are kind of Slash's attempt to create a signature guitar that is really similar to some of his 1950s early Les Pauls in how it's spec'd out. So, for example, it's heavier, a little heavier than other Les Pauls. It's the same shape and size. It looks like a standard. It's got the binding. It's got a thicker neck. It's called a thick D neck. It's not like your modern, what we call the modern C. In the old days, in the old guitars, you'd often find an electric guitar that had a kind of an acoustic guitar neck, which are thicker. And this one's almost as thick as an acoustic guitar neck. Not quite. The thicker neck gives it a different feeling. Do guitars break? They don't break, but they tend to go out of adjustment and need strings. So, for example, electric guitar has a lot of adjustments. I can adjust the height of the strings using things here. I can adjust the intonation of the strings using the saddle adjustments. I can adjust the height of the things. I can also adjust, sometimes over time, the neck will have a slight bend in it. A very slight inward or outward bend, and that can be fixed by adjusting it with the truss rod. So I have what we call guitar tech skills. So I can set up a guitar. I have like a gauge here, and I can measure how high the strings are and make very careful adjustments. And I change the strings a lot. Well, just vacuum out the dust. Actually, amps are probably going to work forever, unless they physically have a problem. I mean, if I don't know, good question. Probably not. So the things that make this really interesting and kind of expensive, they're not super expensive, but they're not super cheap either compared to like Chinese made Epiphone guitars, is these pickups. They're Seymour Duncan pickups. These pickups were designed with Slash's input. He gave final approval to the specific design of these Seymour Duncan pickups. These Seymour Duncan pickups by themselves are like $200 a pair. They're made in California, then shipped to China, or I think probably China is where this guitar is made, actually, not Indonesia. And that's where they install them. But actually, these pickups are American made. It's kind of funny. The guitar is not American made. It's Chinese. And then shipped to here. But these pickups are designed to mimic the vintage pickups that Slash has in some of his original late 1950s Les Pauls, which are considered the best years, for these vintage guitars. It also includes a lot of things like it's got a really fancy electronic system. These potentiometers are very high end, and it's got what you call orange drop capacitors. That's a little nerdy, but the capacitors inside this, if I open it up and show you the back, you'd see, they're really big and juicy looking. They're really good quality. Everything about this, including the switch, everything about this is upgraded over a normal, Asian guitar. The tuners are nicer. I mean, they're not locking tuners, but they're these vintage style short post tuners. It's just really, you just have to be kind of nerdy to appreciate all the little subtle differences. Now, the front of this guitar looks great. It's got this beautiful flaming. That's a veneer. It's not a solid piece of maple like that. All these guitars are produced with a veneer on the front, and the back is a veneer too. You can kind of tell from this pattern here. This is a rolled veneer as opposed to a flat veneer. These are flat veneers, or book match flat veneers. It looks great, but it's not quite the same construction technique that you'd find on an American-made version. And they'd made an American-made Gibson version of this exact guitar that looks just like this, but costs $3,000. I'm not familiar with the band Justice. Are you familiar with the band R.E.M.? We'll find out in a second. Hold on a second here. Where's my songs? Gotta find my songs. Hold on, give me a second here. Get set up here. I like to play REM. Where's my REM? There's a bunch of songs here. All right, we'll start with this one, but hold on, pause. All right, so I have this thing I do if you haven't been here before, but it's every time. Sometimes I'll just sit and sing and play guitars. I do like my AC/DC. All right, so this song is called Driver 8. It goes like, it's, you know, the opening is like this. All right, this, and so the point is I play and sing along. It's kind of unusual, but I like doing it.
Train conductor says, take a break, driver 8, driver 8, take a break. We've been on this shift too long.
Yeah.
And the train conductor says, take a break, driver 8, driver 8, take a break. We can't reach our destination, still a ways away. Treehouse on the outskirts of the farm. Tower lines have loaders so the airplanes won't get snagged. Bells are ringing through the town again. Children look up, all they hear are sky blue bells ringing. And that train conductor says, take a break, driver 8. Take a break. We can't reach our destination, still a ways away. Still a ways away. Where does she lay? Where to put myself to sleep? Way to shield the head and heat. Way to put myself, my children to sleep. I heard this song in a plane like that one. Selling bathe on the go, till crusade. Motivate, southern caress that hear the bells ring again. It's feel to eat is all of it then. And the train conductor says, take a break, driver 8. Driver 8, take a break. We've been on the shift too long. And the train conductor says, take a break, driver 8. Driver 8, take a break. We can't reach our destination, still a ways away. Still a ways away.
Up a little bit here. What's our next one though? We'll do this one absolutely.
Oh, life is bigger, bigger than you. You are not me. That I will go to, distance in your eyes. emotions, trying to keep an eye on you, like a hurt, lost, and blinded fool. Oh no, I said too much. Set it up. Consider this. Consider this. The hint of the century. Consider this. The slip brought me to my knees. Pale-footed bodies, fantasies come flailing around. Now I said too much. Thought that I heard you laughing. I thought that I heard you sing. I think I thought I saw you try. That was just a dream. That was just a dream. That's me in the corner. That's me in the spotlight, losing my religion, trying to keep up with you, and I don't know if I can do it. Oh no, I've said too much, haven't said enough. Thought that I heard you laughing. I thought that I heard you sing. I think I thought I saw you try. That was just a dream. Cry, cry, lied, tried. That was just a dream. Just a dream. Just a dream. What's the next one? Oh, for sure. One of my favorite songs. What's the key? Might be Thunderstruck, probably not. You say we've got nothing in common, common ground to start from, and we're falling apart. I don't think I know Thunderstruck. Might learn it. You say world has come between us, lives have come between us. Still, I know you just don't care. And I said, what about breakfast at Tiffany? She said, I think I remember the film, and as I recall, I think we both kinda liked it. And I said, but that's the thing that we got. I see you, the only one who knew me. Now your eyes see through me. Guess that I was wrong. So what now? Plain you see we're over. Think when things are over, so much is left undone. And I said, what about breakfast at Tiffany? She said, I think I remember the film, and as I recall, I think you both kinda liked it. And I said, well, that's one thing that we've got. You'll say, we've got people say the world has come between us. Lives have come between us. Still I know you just don't care. And I said, what about breakfast at Tiffany? She said, I think I remember the film, and as I recall, I think you look kinda liked it. And I said that's the thing that we've got. Oh, and I said, what about breakfast at Tiffany? She said, I think I remember the film, and as I recall, I think we both kinda liked it. And I said, well, that's the one thing that we got. And I said, what about breakfast at Tiffany? She said, I think I remember the film, and as I recall, I think we both kinda liked it. And I said, well, that's the one thing that we got.
All right, why not?
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is older than the trees, bigger than the mountains, blowing like a breeze. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads, all my memories gather on her. Miner's lady, stranger to the water. Dark and dusty, painted on the sky. Missed a taste of moonshine, to drop in my heart. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, and mama, take me home. Country roads, I hear her voice in the morning. Now she calls me. Radio reminds me of my home away. Driving down the road, I get the feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home. Country roads.
What's the next one? I'm gonna skip this one. I really want to do this song. It's another REM song. It's called Strange Currencies. I don't play this as one much, so I might be a little rough on me. Okay, I got practices open here. Okay, go. This is like your thing. This one might tuned up. A little check here. It's not for government work. Okay, so the opening is like this. Alright, how'd it go? That's it.
I don't know why you're mean to me. When I call on the telephone, I don't know why you're mean to me.
Alright, let's play with the accompaniment.
I don't know why you're mean to me. When I call on the telephone, and I don't know what you mean to me. I wanna turn you on, wanna turn you up, wanna figure out, wanna take you on. These words, you will be mine. These words, you will be mine all the time. Now a fool might be my middle name, but I'd be foolish not to say. Gonna make whatever it takes, bring you up, call you down, sign your name, secret love, make it rhyme, take you in and make you mine. These words, you will be mine. These words, you will be mine all the time. Ooh, I tripped and fell. Did I fall? What I wanna be? Wanna feel it now. You know, with love come strange currencies. And here is my appeal. I need a chance, a second chance, a third chance, a fourth chance, a word, a signal, not a little breath, just to fool myself, just to catch myself and make it real. These words, you will be mine. These words, you will be mine all the time. Ooh, these words, baby, let's go through. You will be mine. These words, hunt me down, catch if I throat, make me great to say, love's combines. Ooh.
Good song. What else I got? Oh, yeah. Oh, shoot. This one's a little. I don't know this one. I do know this one, but I don't want to do this. I want to do we're gonna do Wonderwall. It's just a thing. That's a thing. Okay, Cabo 2. That's a good song too, though. Karaoke version.
Day that they're gonna throw it back to you. And now, should have somehow realized what you gotta do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do. Not you now. Backbeat, the word is on the street that the fire in your heart is out. I'm sure you've heard it all before, but you never really had a doubt. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. And all the roads we have to walk are winding, and all the lights that lead us there are blinding. There are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. 'Cause maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my wonderwall. Today is gonna be the day, but I'll never throw it back to you. But now you should have somehow realized what you're not to do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. And all the roads that lead you there are winding, and all the lights that light the way we're blinding. There are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. And maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my wonderwall. I said maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. After all, you're my wonderwall. I said maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. You're gonna be the one that saves me. Gonna be the one that saves me.
All right, last one. It's my favorite stuff.
Sinking.
I think it's in key, right? Nope. Great song, though.
Think where did we go? Days when the rain came. 51 down in the hot road, laying
a bunch of sequels. And this
morning folk with arms of open at you. Brown-eyed girl. You, my brown-eyed girl. Whatever happened Tuesday, it's so slow. Going down to the open window, transistor radio. Standing in the sunlight, laughing at behind the rainbow's wall. Slipping and sliding all along the waterfall with you, brown-eyed girl. You, my brown-eyed girl. Do you remember when you used to sing la 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 dee da? La 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 dee da. So hard to find my way. Now that I'm on my own. Saw you just the other day. My, how you have grown. I guess my memory back there low. Sometimes I'm home thinking of making love in the green grass behind the stadium with you, brown-eyed girl. You, my brown-eyed girl. Do you remember when we used to sing la 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 dee da? La 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 dee da. La 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 dee da dee da. La 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 dee da.
Oh, I do like that song. That one, no. Not American Pie. It's too long. Well, so I do want to do Sister Golden Hair. Just real quick. Very easy. Old American song, though. Hold on a second. I like the opening. I'm trying to get the opening down. I think I know it. Ask all the questions you like. After the song, I'll answer them.
Well, I tried to make it Sunday, but I got so damn depressed. And I set my sights on Monday, and I got myself undressed. I ain't ready for the altar, but I do agree there's times when a woman sure can be a friend of mine. Well, I keep on thinking about you, Sister Golden Hair Surprise. And I just can't live without you. Can't you see it in my eyes? I've been one poor correspondent. I've been too hard to find. But it doesn't mean you ain't been on my mind. Will you meet me in the middle? Will you meet me you see it in my eyes? I've been one poor correspondent. I've been too hard to find. But it doesn't mean it ain't been on my mind. Will you meet me in the middle? Will you meet me in the air? Will you love me just a little? Just enough to show you care. Well, I tried to fake it. I don't mind saying, I just can't make it.
All right, that's it for this thing. By the way, Vortism, please ask away. You've got a few minutes left before I end the stream, and I will attempt to answer any questions you might have. But yeah, it's enough. I'm gonna put my little headphones off. I don't need this headphones. My little headphones. These are wired. It's kind of a pain in the ass. Where's my wire? Okay, perfect. All right, so we flew around. We did some fun stuff. Best place. Somebody's trying to get into the tech industry in university. Layoffs are scared. Let me get back. Let me move around in the face cam here. Like centering scene. Things are moving. Nothing's moving. It's just electronic panning. First of all, if you have a passion for something and you're good at it, no matter what it is, you could do well in any field. But you should be aware that the software industry is shrinking, and like we expect layoffs. You know, there's some number of hundreds of software engineers in our company because they always consider software to be the core of their business and creating software, and it is kind of the core of their business. It's not, but yeah, I think they have a problem. Most kind of large financial institutions have a problem, which, excuse me, Tyco lift. They have too many. But that's true of any industry. You can always say, well, every industry is always shedding, some group of people. And in general, the tech industry always has layoffs. They're always trying to lay people off. And when they do so, they're trying to measure the people who aren't. My hair is crazy. Who aren't performing as well as other software engineers specifically. They're trying to do this at our company. They're trying to measure all of our software productivity, like how many bugs do we fix per hour, kind of that. Not exactly like that, but kind of like that. So that they can put a big spreadsheet together and see who are the software programmers who are the most productive, and who are the software engineers that are least productive. You don't want to be on that list. I might well be. I don't think I'm on that list, but I don't know. I don't really care. I figure if the company doesn't appreciate me, yes and no. I mean, I got lucky. I mean, I started pretty early in the software industry. I have a degree in software in mathematics and computer science from the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA, which is considered a really valuable degree, especially considering the fact that when I went to school at UCLA, I was a California resident. I didn't pay any tuition. We paid fees and registration, but tuition was free. So I paid a couple $1,000s a year to go to school and get a degree in mathematics and computer science, which is considered very valuable. I mean, yeah, that'll get you, that gets you interviews for those kind of jobs, having that degree. But, for many of the jobs I've hired at, I worked with a lot of software engineers who had a high school diploma. They were just really talented. They were really good at what they did. And and people could see that, and they were real passionate and talented. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of about that. I think so. I mean, just make sure you're current in kind of what the current development systems are. I guess whatever that is, whatever you kind of chose that, you have something like a major project that you worked on at university that you can talk about and show to people, and that you're excited about it. Because yeah, people like me are. There's people kind of retiring out of the field, and then they have to be replaced. They can't all be kind of reduced. But I would say it's going to be harder to get a job as a software engineer going on. I just don't want to sugarcoat it. As I say, there's hundreds of software engineers. I think sometime in the next 6 to 12 months there'll be a reduction in force on the software engineers. I think I'll be okay, but I don't know. I don't know for sure if I'll still be where I am in 6 to 12 months. And I'm not sure I'd recommend it to somebody who's just starting out. But I think I would, because I mean, think about all the different things. I'm thinking about the different pace in which change happens. I think people who understand technology, and especially at the programming level, when I consider doing programming puzzles in my stream, I think I would consider it. That's a good question, by the way. I thank you for your questions. They're very good questions. I don't know if I'm an expert in either one of those things. Programming puzzles is a lot of things. Programming puzzles is a little like the reason why I don't stop working every day, and people might ask, well, do you have your own programming, little things you like to program, like to work on? And I'm like, no, gosh, when I'm done programming for the bank, I don't want to touch a development system. I don't want to touch a line of code. But on the other hand, for me, I need to, I write code every day. For me, if I don't, I like to put it this way: a day without writing code is like a day without sunshine. It's orange juice, yeah. But whatever. But the point is, yeah, you get used to it, and then you kind of want to do it every day. And I do, but the bank pays me to do it, So I get two things. One, I get to have the enjoyment of writing code that's useful for somebody, it's the bank. And secondly, they pay me. When I'm doing it at home, I'm writing code that's probably less useful. Like the probably tell you somebody's already wrote a program to do something similar to what I'm doing. And I'm not getting paid because I'm not paying myself. And it's probably not going to be something where I'll make money at it. So it'd be programming just for the sake of programming. And I don't really feel the need to do that. But yeah, if I was starting out and I wasn't working as a software engineer currently, but that's what I dream to do, I would try to write some code every day. In the same way, if you're an author, you want to write books, your plan is to write books, you better get into a habit of writing 25, writing, like Stephen King does, or various authors. They just they plan on writing from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. They just cut that time out every single day and they write. It doesn't matter if they write something good, something bad, doesn't matter. But they're in the habit of writing. Hi, Charles, good to see you. I'm just about done for the day. We were flying around. We saw Canada. I tried to go to Philadelphia. I ended up in the wrong place. Eventually, I found Philadelphia. Boy, it took a long time. The flights today were very a little chaotic, but I thought we saw some cool stuff here and there every now and then for the flights. Tomorrow, there'll be more flying around. There'll be more of the big brain games. I'll start at the regular time. I don't know what time your time is. You could be in any one of 24 time zones, but I'm in the Pacific time zone. I start 11:30 a.m. my time. I like to keep it very consistent for various reasons. Mainly, I'm a little anal about that kind of stuff. And then after that, there'll be 5 days a week. Every day that does not start with a T. In fact, I don't understand how anyone could stream on a day that starts with a T. Oh my lord, what's wrong with you? Right. So, and then after that, I'll be for the musical segment. It's Ken's Piano Lounge. I was watching yesterday's Ken's Piano Lounge segment, and I was like, yeah, that guy could be a professional piano lounge player. But I already said that a million times about like today and every day. But anyway, I take my piano, which is not this one. This is my studio piano. It does work, but it's part of my studio. But I have a piano sitting over there, and I lug it over here. I set it up here, and it's Ken's Piano Lounge. We play music for an hour. It's real mellow. Sometimes I sing, but it's mainly instrumental tunes. So just to warn you for that one. I'm not gonna. Oh, I'm gonna. Hey, can I Ray Leia? Because my good friend Leah, sorry. She may have her. I want to see if she has her settings turned off. Oh yeah, we can raid Leah. All right, bye guys. I'm so glad we had this time together, just to have a laugh or sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long. General E-Girl aficionado. Well, you're about to see one of them. If you stay on the raid, we're about to visit my good, close personal friend Leah. Yes, I've met her in person and hung out. So, for example, she's an E-Girl. I'm an aficionado. We've hung out. We're friends. Yeah, go enjoy. So you can see what I mean. But she's not the only one. I'll be going to TwitchCon and with Charles, and we're gonna be hanging out with some amazing. I don't know. They're just out of our league. We like it. We have a good time. All right, we're gonna jump over to Leah and say hi over her. She's playing Hollow Knight right now, and she's amazing.